誰誰ってもう見えてたっつーの。おかっぱだろ。
Hello everyone, welcome to our new video. In this video, I'll be discussing a list of top 10 best comedy anime. Before we start, be sure you subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so that you will get notifications of new videos.
I need a disguise! She'll never recognize me now. If this is a cosplay contest, you're toast.
This has nothing to do with you, Poverty God! You're just drawing attention to us!
Sweet! I want in on this.
Come on! Not you two!
Number 10, Good Luck Girl. How often do you see a female character who's basically perfect, rich, beautiful, intelligent? I could go on. In Good Luck Girl, the protagonist Ichiko Sakura is such a character. But we finally have an explanation as to why. She sucks out the luck of everyone around her. This forces the goddess of poverty, Momiji Bindoda, to confront her and try to suck some of her luck out. Then all hell breaks loose as the two constantly fight, usually in a needlessly over-the-top fashion. The pairing of these two is comedy gold since their bickering and insults just fly off the charts. There's also the monk Bobby Status, who is a comedic genius in his own right.
Rock, paper, scissors! Look up!
Oh my sides!
She won't budge.
Number 9, Hinamatsuri. From the very start, the show is something else. When else does a mob-esque metal egg girl teleport and fall into the head of a Yakuza member? Like seriously, who came up with that plot? The Yakuza member, Nita, then has to take care of the all-powerful previously a robot egg Hina, who happens to possess psychic powers. How do you think this powerhouse combo is going to end up? Personally, the show lives on and thrives within the wacky humor genre. Nothing seems too far-fetched. The visual gags, the animation, and especially the voice acting is just amazing. Definitely give it a watch. Number 8, Tanaka-kun is always listless. I think I just ruined the show by putting Tanaka on a list. Oh well, if you often feel like taking a nap after just waking up, this will be a very relatable anime. Tanaka really cannot be bothered with anything. The man just wants to enjoy his peace and quiet and lazily go through life. But of course, there are all of these evil beings called friends that keep making him do stuff. The backbone of the show is simply how people react to Tanaka's level of sloth and his ambition to avoid it. Think Psyche but no superpowers and a very calming art style. Number 7, Detroit Metal City. No, Detroit Metal City isn't the mecha version of Detroit Become Human. Rather, it's a death metal indie group that is the main focus of this anime. As far as the plot is concerned, think Hannah Montana but darker, louder, and with more pelvic thrusts. The lead singer of Detroit Metal City is Johannes Krauser too, an absolute madman whose angry live performances captivate his metal-loving audience. And sure, on stage he acts the part of a Satan spawn. But in reality he is just a soft-spoken college graduate who's in the band for the money. He doesn't even like metal that much. But a man has to do what a man has to do. His desperate attempts to live this double life lead to all kinds of situations, and his performances get crazier by the second. Number 6, Asobi Asobase. Asobi Asobase centers around three very odd friends Hanako, Olivia, and Kasumi, and their honorable quest to not be bored. So they create the pastime club, where they just horse around and play all kinds of games. It's a normal high school comedy, but it's far from dull, as the creators of the show really had fun with each episode. The most mundane activity suddenly becomes the perfect plot device to set up a good gag, or leave the girls in a compromising position when the teacher inevitably walks in. I haven't been this into rock paper scissors since that short green-haired kid beat up those ants. The art style and visual gags are my favorite part of the show though, as they're just ridiculous. Number 5, Shimoneta. Terrorism is bad, McKay. But what about sex terrorism? You see, in the world of Shimoneta, all pornographic content is banned and chastity is enforced, leaving sexually frustrated teens to roam the earth and make do with what they can. So it's the job of our terrorists to once again spread the law of the lewd across the city. They all wear underwear over their head and throw obscene pictures in public places. That's the kind of show you're getting into, so be prepared. Also, definitely do not watch this with your family or newly acquired friends. Although the show is primarily a comedy, it still got an R rating for a reason. Number 4, Plastic Nee-San. Not looking for a long-term anime relationship? Do you just want to have a one-night chuckle and never call back? Then Plastic Nee-San is for you. It's a series of 12 2-minute skits packed to the brim with laughs. The show is a master at quick-paced character building. In under half an hour you already feel like you know these characters. It also makes very little room for filler content. Everything is a punchline and there's very little downtime between laughs. The humor is far from subtle and the show doesn't take itself seriously at all, which you will notice after a minute or two. Number 3, To Be Hero. First you have an ordinary plumber. Pretty good looking, but lazy with a sprinkle of sleaziness. Of more than a sprinkle. He spends his days hitting on women and talking about his superpower, the ability to tell a woman's hip size at glance. But wouldn't you know it, now he actually does have superpowers, after pulling a Mario and going down a toilet pipe to be more precise. The only downside is he is now a fat and ugly individual whose own daughter can't recognize him. If suck down a toilet to gain superpowers doesn't sound like a grand old comedy, then we must have different taste. Number 2, Prison School. There's no good way to describe Prison School. It is in a category of its own, that category being NSFW. To cut the plot short, 5 perverted boys are thrown into prison for 1 month because they peeped on some girls taking a shower. And once they got to prison, they somehow become even more perverted. The show is like Boys Locker Room, the anime. So plenty of fanservice to go around, plenty of sexual innuendo to go around, and plenty of fetishes in your face. The show also tackles the burning questions of humanity. Like whether boobs or butts are the best. You know, the real questions.
What?
Number 1, ORESUKI. Are you the only one who loves me? It's hard to tell what comes first with this show, its romantic drama elements or its comedy. Because as you can guess from the title, the pursuit of love is a pretty big theme throughout the show. But it also has some amazing recurring gags and over-the-top reactions. The protagonist is somewhat of a nice guy trademark sign, especially in the beginning. So his flirting methods and mentality make up a big chunk of the show's humor. The show also portrays the weirdest and yet somehow most powerful antagonist ever to hit the medium, Bench-kun, that sly bastard. Overall it has a good mix of laughing tears and sadness tears, so whichever you prefer you'll find in the show. Alright everyone, that is it from today's video on top 10 best comedy anime. If you do not agree with the points in the video and have some of your own opinions, share them with us in the comments section down below. And if you like this video then do share with your friends.